Dear ADC family and my fellow Nigerians, I find it necessary to once again address you on the recent events within the ADC. But before I get into that, let me state the following. I am an Igbo man from Onitsha in Delta State of Nigeria. I am a full-blooded Nigerian and have the right to aspire to the highest office in the land. The presidency is not and will never be the birthright of one section of this country, no matter how much propaganda they spread. There's a lot of deliberate misinformation going on by these agents of destabilization, masquerading as a political coalition. There is a clear difference between a political coalition and a political gang. The first has noble ideals, while the gang seeks power for personal gains. What we have here today is a gang unable to survive outside political office, seeking to hijack the ADC as a means to revive their personal economies. They are truly on a rescue mission, but it's a mission to rescue themselves from the harsh economic realities which they themselves created for our nation. They accuse me of being a paid spokesperson for President Tinubu, and my response is this. It will be an honor to be a spokesperson for the president of the largest black nation on earth. But unfortunately, that's not who I am. Political jobbers who have no visible means of livelihood are always eager to tar others, but I remain unfazed. They, with the active support of their cohorts in the media, now say they are the ADC. They are not. I can call myself the president of America till I am blue in the face, but it doesn't make it so. They are offering some of the state chairmen as much as 20 million naira to resign their positions, which goes to show that their intentions are not honorable. My question to this gang is this. If you succeed in paying off all the ADC party officials at state and local government levels to resign, what next? Our constitution still doesn't allow you to assume their offices. This is the plain and simple truth. Your money will get you nowhere in the ADC. If you have to build your rescue mission on fraudulent misrepresentation, it just shows who you really are. The imposter who claims he's their spokesperson made bold to say that I am merely the former presidential candidate of the party and not a party official. His pedestrian argument is that only party officials can challenge party affairs. This is the same elitist ignorance that brought Nigeria to this point, where we believe Nigeria is only for the rich and powerful. Bolaji, please be informed that every member of our party, no matter how poor you people have made them, have a say in the ADC. This fake coalition is staging events in different parts of the country where they pay poor Nigerians to say they are decamping from other parties to the ADC. This is the typical strategy of these old politicians, and we have had enough of it. They need to sing a new song. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, a man whose antecedents clearly shows he doesn't believe anyone from the southern part of Nigeria is deserving of being president of Nigeria, orchestrated this charade for his personal benefit. He almost truncated President Obasanjo's return for a second term because he believed the seat was his. President Jonathan suffered the same fate, and then after 8 years of late President Buhari as president, the same Atiku Abubakar believed it was morally right for him to be the presidential flag bearer of the PDP in the last presidential elections. This was most unjust and unfair, and led to the current disintegration of that party. He is now using some charlatans to deceive former Governor Peter Obi that only he, Atiku, has what it takes to win an election because he can get majority of the North to vote for him. This is really uncharitable of him. If the former vice president says my assertions are not true and that all he wants is a better Nigeria, I then challenge him today to publicly declare that equity demands that the presidency should stay in the South for another 6 years, he can then support any Southern candidate of his choice. He will never do this. But if he chooses to continue on this slippery slope, I want to reiterate that the ADC is not for sale, and it's not an old people's home. We are a party that believes Nigeria needs fresh faces, fresh ideals, and fresh ideas. This current political war is the war of the old for the old. It's not our fight. In the ADC, Nigeria and Nigerians will always remain our objective. Thank you, and God bless. I'll now take your questions. Thank you. It's a good question. First and foremost, let me say this. The people we're talking about are not members of the ADC. Yesterday, we all saw former Vice President Atiku resign from the PDP almost 2 weeks after they came and they said they were part of the ADC. As I speak to you today, former Governor Peter Obi is still a member of the Labour Party. If we look at, what's his name, El Rufai, he's still a member of the SDP. Former Governor Rotimi Amechi is still a member of the APC. So the people who came together to say that they are forming a coalition and they are taking over the ADC are people who belong to other parties. They are not in the ADC. They just came to cause this upheaval in the ADC. So, if you're in my shoes, am I supposed to watch people who are not members of our party go through someone who claimed he was the chairman, even though he was not the chairman, and say they've taken over the party structure to prosecute their political ambitions? Absolutely not. I came into a party of common Nigerians who were in that party, even though they had no visible person in that party, but they still stayed in that party because of what they believed were the possibilities of that party. Should I not defend these people? Should I look the other way so that so-called big men, so-called powerful people can come and say, you know what, we'll take this party, we use it as a structure to then fight the sitting president? Or should I defend the interest of a party that made me presidential flag bearer? The honorable thing to do is to stand and fight. I'm fighting for all party men and women of the ADC. Said that the lower court's ruling removing Nwosu saying that Nwosu not chairman was in error. We then went to the Supreme Court. In their media briefing, I saw the state chairman of Kogi State, and I want you guys to investigate this. The state chairman from Kogi State, who was removed twice in the last 1 year by this same Nwosu, letters were written to INEC, investigate this, coming to say that they had been planning this coalition for 18 months. If they were planning coalition for 18 months, the same Kogi State chairman signed an agreement just 2 months ago with Nwosu and INEC and the ADR person resolving their issues, and yet he made bold to tell Nigerians that for 18 months they had been planning this coalition. They are presenting a tissue of lies to Nigerians to justify what they try to do. But I'm telling you today that these people have no hold on the ADC. Their hold on the ADC is just in the realm of the media. But the ADC as a party currently has no chairman because of the lacuna Nwosu created. We expect now that INEC will give us guidance on how we go about our conventions, because our constitution never envisaged a situation where we will stay without an NWC. It never envisaged this kind of situation. So only the courts and INEC can give us guidance on how we can create this. So what these desperate people saw was this lacuna, and they felt, oh, this is a party. After all, if you remove the 4 parties, APC, PDP, Labour, and NNPP, right? This party came 5th in the last presidential elections. So it is the next best thing to hold on to prosecute their agenda. And that's why they came to this party. I doubt if you knew the ADC before I came to the ADC and joined the ADC, and and ran under the platform of the ADC. Most Nigerians didn't know the ADC, but then they knew the ADC because I defeated Kingsley Mohalo in the primaries. Then people got to know the party. And as such, I'll tell you this. Yes, ADC is popular but there's a difference between popularity and notoriety. Nigerians are talking about ADC, the party that seeks to upstage the president. And Nigerians are talking about ADC as being the front for a coalition. Mind you, we have always been in the forefront of opposition. But the difference is why a lot of people won't hear about the ADC's opposition is that our position comes with proposition. We don't believe that the job of opposition is just to stay and be insulting the government of the day. If you want to go viral in Nigeria, all you have to do, even as a market woman, is just stay and make a video and insult Tinubu and insult APC and insult this. And the question I always ask people around me is this: at the end of the insult, what next? 2 weeks now, mind you, for the last 2 weeks, they came and said, or 3 weeks, they came and said that they are now the opposition, the coalition. They've taken over ADC and they are going to chase out President Tinubu from office. You've not heard these men tell you this is what they want to do about the economy. I heard Bolaji saying the other day that they are going to reduce price of fuel to what, 100 naira, whatever it was, and they're going to take dollar to 1 naira to the dollar. The same thing they told us when the APC came in. They're saying the same thing again. They did not tell you what they are going to do about the economy, about housing, infrastructure deficit, healthcare. The former president of Nigeria died a few days ago in a foreign hospital. You have not heard any of them address the situation of what they will do about the myriad problems we are facing in Nigeria. All they tell you is this: President Tinubu has got to go. Okay, he has got to go. Tell us what you will do differently. Because that's why we're here in the first place. That's why we have the problems we have in Nigeria, because we have never questioned these people. When they come and tell us bogus stories, nobody questions them. That's how they chased Jonathan out of office. Nobody questioned them. Today, when you are paying your rent today, you don't remember the stories they told you and how you brought these people into power. When you are trying to pay children's school fees, when you don't have food on your table, you don't remember all the lies they told you. And where we are today, they've come with another bunch of lies and nobody's questioning them. Question their stories. But before any story, ask them. Anytime you confront these people, anytime you interview them, ask them, what will you do differently about the economy? What will you do to ensure that the Nigerian who leaves school today, that he has a job within the next 1 year, the next 2 years? What will you do to ensure that our hospitals improve, that our doctors and nurses are not leaving Nigeria for the UK, Canada, and America? What will you do to end banditry or kidnapping? I forgot to pose this challenge to Vice President Atiku. The media, you are all reporting almost on a daily basis the killings in Plateau, in Benue, by Fulani people coming from other countries, right? You report these stories. Some of you camouflages and say farmer header clashes. How many dead so far? 1,000, more than 1,000. In the last 10 years, how many dead so far? What has Vice President Atiku Abubakar said about his kit and kin killing innocent Nigerians? What has he said? The young lady was killed in Sokoto last time. Someone, his social media manager, made a tweet. They pulled it down immediately because it was not politically correct for him to speak against his people. That is the man who aspires to the highest office of the land. We know the truth as Nigerians, but we never want to speak to the truth. We never want to speak to the truth. He says he leads a coalition to upstage a president of Southern ethnic stock. That's fine. We are all complaining as Nigerians. I'm aspiring to office. I'm running against President Tinubu. But I believe it's morally and equitably right that anybody from a major party to go against this president should be from the South. There's nothing wrong with that. It's equitable. It's justice. That's all we ask. So you have in that coalition people they put around P2B. So they tell P2B, you cannot win, you cannot do it. only if you become Atiku's vice. What rubbish! That's balderdash. He has all it takes to aspire. He has all it takes to win an election. He has the brains. So, but people, what they do, they stake people around him so that anybody he goes to, they tell him, you cannot win. That is their strategy. And that's how they are forcing him into a situation where he accepts to be the vice presidential running mate to Atiku Abubakar. That's what they tell us every day. That's what you, the media, are doing when you have this reportage that seeks to suggest that I, as an Igbo man, I can never be president of Nigeria. Why? Why? Don't I pay my taxes? Doesn't my Nigerian passport say I'm a Nigerian? Doesn't my birth certificate say I'm a Nigerian? Why can't I aspire to the highest office in the land? Am I anybody's slave? That's why we won't allow this. So no matter how they tell you that when you speak against them that you are Tinubu's spokesperson, it's an honor. It's an honor. As long as what I speak about is the right to the southern part of Nigeria to aspire to hold office for 8 years. Watch again. Let me tell you, look into this again. 8 years of President Buhari. Please Google this. Tell me how many statements Atiku Abubakar made to speak against that government, to challenge that government. We see all these statements today challenging a southern president. Because a southern president is nothing. Google and see how many statements he made. Then you know what you can do? Google my statements. Watch my videos. I challenge that presidency. 8 good years. But you can't see what if they said anything. If you did not speak against President Buhari in 8 years of the economic disintegration of Nigeria, of the structural disintegration of Nigeria, how dare you then speak? Because the man happens to be a southern president, and because you know what, we southerners are weaker, you can overrun the country. We need to start speaking truth to power in this country. This is no longer acceptable. We know the truth. You all know the truth. You all know this truth. Speak this truth.
Okay.
But the ideas and ideals, we stand for something in the ADC. Next question, please.
Okay. I am Henry Umora, I call from London. There are statements and...
Thank you. Good question. Who loses if the courts grind ADC to a halt? Nigerians lose. But I can assure you that they will not succeed. The courts will hear in earnest all matters pertaining to the ADC, and I'll tell you what will happen. When they determine that ADC is not a suitable platform for them, they will start looking for other platforms. This is why these men and women have not resigned from their various parties. They are just trying their luck with ADC. They were, of course, you know, they went to SDP. You saw them immediately after my press statement a week ago or so. They were all on TV stations. I saw Rotimi Amechi saying that, oh, they are still pursuing ADA to register ADA. They are saying that they are pursuing other things, that they have other options. ADC was just a smoke screen. They are doing trial by error. They have tried SDP didn't work. They will come here and try also, and I'm telling them this is not the party for you. If you want to pursue your political ambition, stay within your party. Solve the problems in your party. I could have left ADC immediately when we started this rubbish last time, but I stayed here. It's fashionable for people to decamp to the APC, not so. I could have stayed and decamped to the APC and joined the ruling party. But I've stayed within my party with all the challenges because I believe that it's important to build structures. No matter how difficult the proposition is, you build those structures. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but at some point we'll get where we're going to. I stay to build my party. They should stay and build their parties. Next question, please.
The second one. Since this is
no, tell you what, right? Those who they can buy, they are rich. Those who they can't buy, they don't bother to reach.